불멸의 전사 2.
Welcome back, everybody, to some more Pro League Team League action. It is me, Valdez, with GTR and Hyung on your screen right now. And we're sitting here tied at 1-1 right now between CJ and the Afreeca Freaks.
Yeah, the first game was quite a stomp there from Hero, but the second game was a bit closer. We saw that Swarm Host Niners play being introduced to us for the first time here in Pro League, and even though it did kind of look fancy at first, I think with a bit more refinement, it could do a lot better in future games if he decides to go for that playstyle again.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was fancy, as you said. It looked cool, but I love the response from Patience, too. He was immediately on it with his Phoenixes, lifted everything up, put down the Photon overcharges, and just made sure he took it very seriously. Didn't take too much critical damage, didn't lose any of his bases, and that was the most important thing. From there, he could just counterattack, and it was all good for him. We're going to go into game number 3, guys. It is going to be a TVT. Bomber versus Bunny will be the matchup.
Yeah, and we see here the records for both players. Bunny is actually surprisingly a very poor record with 1 win and 5 losses. He did make it to the Code S round of 16, I believe. So I guess he did very well in the individual leagues, but in the Pro League so far, he hasn't really done too well. We can see there as well, 4 of those games that he's played have been Terran versus Terran. So,
yeah.
And we all know about Bomber. Bomber is one of those players is very inconsistent, in my opinion.
Yeah, very inconsistent. He's been a little bit more consistent, but taking a loss against Reality in that last TVT that he did play. You're the only one to go for Bunny here,
yeah.
GTR.
Well, is that loss against Reality? But we're getting to our next game here on Frost, EJ versus Afreeca.
Down here in the bottom right, in the purple from the Afreeca Freaks, it is Bomber, the Terran player.
And spawning here as the yellow Terran for CJ Entis, it is Bunny.
Also got some cool hair here.
He's also got the yellow earphones to match with his team color.
That's cool. I don't know if anyone else on CJ actually has those kinds of earphones, but
I think they're sponsored by Beats, by Dr. Dre, so probably they should all have all those fancy colored earphones.
Beats makes yellow earbuds?
I think so.
Really? I didn't know that.
I'm pretty sure they have multicolored earbuds.
That's a cool idea. Yeah, smart by Dre, I suppose.
As we have cross spawns here on Frost, which is commonly referred to between us as Wolf's least favorite map.
Yeah. It's funny how that's kind of been the way that it's been remembered amongst us casters out here. Wolf's favorite map, definitely does not like it. Likes to talk about how he just doesn't like 4-player maps in general. Just because, you know, you can get unlucky with the scouting pattern and it can definitely affect the game. We're going to have a difference in build here as you make that sound.
Macaraxia from Bomber as well, but both players actually going for the 2 Raxes, which we don't really see at all, honestly, here in Korea at least.
Look at the difference here. One has 2 gas, Bomber has double gas, whereas Bunny has 1 gas. So Bunny probably is going to start off with a Reaper and then just go into Marines here, but Bomber's going to have enough to make full-on Reapers from both of these racks. And, it's going to be interesting to see the way these guys, interact and the way they fight on this map, especially because they're so far apart.
Yeah, I think the cross spawns play a huge role in how effective these this double racks play from both players is going to turn out. And you also notice that Bomber's placed his second barracks down there at the lower ground at a position where the SAV of Bunny won't naturally scout it if you rally your SAV to the general path. And we see there, nice mine there from Bomber. I'm pretty sure that SAV would have died anyway, but just to be safe.
Just to make sure you deny the vision of the low ground, make sure you can't know whether or not you have a CC down there or not. Bomber is going to follow up at the factory and still mining from both gases, so going to be in a very aggressive build here. Lots of Reapers, probably Hellions coming out as well. Going to start that first one out here. Bunny has also committed to a bunch of Reapers himself. He does have 3 right now, plus a Marine. So right now it's 3 Reapers and a Marine to just 3 Reapers from Bomber. But here you can see
Bomber's going to intercept these Reapers, and he's not going to get that kill on the Reaper. If he got the kill on that, that would be huge because that Hellion would have come out, and with that Hellion and these Reapers, I mean, Reaper Wars, it's all about the count. It's all about how many Reapers you have against your opponent.
And Bomber is going to continue the aggression here, adding a starport. And it looks like Bunny just wants to go for the scout. Bomber not in position to deny the scout. So Bunny comes in, he sees the build, and he's like, I got to save this Reaper. I'm getting out of here. But will he be able to? No, it goes down.
And I'm curious to see how Bunny's going to react to this, because he is getting that command center there at his expansion, and Bomber sees the timing, he sees that there is a window opportunity to do damage here, as the bunker does go down here up the ramp of Bunny.
Yeah, needs that bunker. Does finish the CC and is morphing a orbital right now, so no denial possible for Bomber. He's going to try to jump up here. Not all of Bunny's units are in position, so he's going to spot, or rather kill one of those Reapers, but Bomber losing one of his own.
Yeah, and Bomber's actually adding to this a Liberator, so he definitely wants to keep on the pressure onto Bunny, as Bunny is just happy just to sit there at the top of his ramp, and okay, it looks like Bomber is going to take an expansion behind this. So.
Oh, look at the timing of that scan. That's unbelievable. It comes down right as that CC is beginning to go up here on the low ground.
And we can see the siege tank here, just to be safe from Bunny, and we'll see if this medevac gets picked up. No, it doesn't, but it looks like Hellions will get up here. Oh, a nice mine there. Draws those Reapers away there onto the lower ground. Oh, it actually snipes a few Reapers there. Really nice play there from Bunny.
Yeah, not the best control as well from Bomber. Losing about, I think, 3 of his Reapers and 1 of his Hellions. We'll see how much mining he can delay, and if this Liberator can do much. He's really committing to killing one of these SCVs and going for a drop into the main.
Oh, but unfortunately for Bunny, draws most of his army there to the expansion, so Bomber sees a window of opportunity to drop at the back of the mineral line, and these mines there from the Reapers doing quite a bit of splash damage. Unfortunately for Bomber though, he doesn't get the Hellions off onto those SCVs, but we'll see how much damage this Liberator can do.
Yeah, that was, I feel like it's almost desperation from Bomber. He's like really trying to commit to doing that damage, and now look at this, already a Cyclone's out. This Liberator's not even doing damage in the interim. So this will go down. There's even a Viking on the chase.
Yeah, that Liberator is completely gone with that Viking out on the map for Bunny. And look at the supply count here for both players. I mean, so much army here with Bunny. He can probably just hit a timing here and try and kill Bomber off, as Bomber's actually trying to take the 3rd command center behind this rather than playing catch-up off 2 bases.
Yeah. The only saving grace for Bomber is that it's such a big map, you know. He's got time to try to go for the defense. He also has Banshees on the way with Cloak, so he can kind of keep Bunny on the opposite side of the map. But as you said, hidden base, and Bomber's going to be stuck in his base for such a long time that he's probably not going to scout this for a very long time.
And with this Reaper that Bunny sneaks into the main base, he's going to see that 3rd command center, and I'm pretty sure alarm bells are ringing here because he's wondering, where are all your production buildings? As we see here though, a Banshee of Bomber doesn't actually gets a couple of SCVs, but unfortunately for him, that turret is up, so he can't go any further. There's the scan as well.
Interesting that he does commit to that damage. It looks like this Liberator pushed away once again. Looks like it may have gotten 1 SCV or so. Bomber hasn't even restarted the building of the CC. Finally, he goes for that.
But Bomber's actually caught up in supplies, so that Banshee play there from Bomber with those few SCV kills, giving him enough time to catch up on his unit count, and it's pretty much neck and neck at the moment. But Bunny does have that hidden expansion up, and Bomber has no idea that it's there.
Yeah, that's the funny thing about a map this big. It's so hard to scout all the possible bases. For all Bomber knows, even if he was expecting a hidden base, could be in the top right at this point. Oh boy, Scan is going to kill the Banshee here.
Oh, that was so lucky there from Bunny. The Cyclone managed to get in range just in time. If the Banshee maybe had the speed boost or whatever, then he could have got away. But there's no more Banshee out on the map for Bomber, which is quite unfortunate.
Yeah. The interesting thing about this hidden base, too, is that even though he's got it up, you know, he can drop mules over there, of course, but he can't really transfer workers over there. I mean, Bomber's going to have everything in one type ball. He can get some workers over there and just have it all safe, you know? These guys are probably going to go into a bit of a longer game here. And if Bomber ever scouts that base, that will be a huge win for him if he could take that out.
As first siege tank or two of Bomber is actually moving out on the map. I thought he might have wanted to do some harassment at the front of the base of Bunny, but looks like he's just going to keep them in the medivacs, use the flexibility of the tank evac for defensive purposes. As we see here, a drop coming to the expansion of Bomber, but I think Bomber still has that defensive liberator, which is quite a cute play there from him.
Yeah. Look at this base and how much it's paying off already. 4 mules getting to work. Even though it's 4 SCVs, it's okay for now. Bomber, it looks like he wants to move out and take his third base finally.
Oh, the Cyclone spots it though, so he knows that Bomber is actually taking that third base down on that lower ground rather than to the left that I thought he would naturally do. Probably going to save that base to the left of him for the fourth base that he'll build eventually.
So interesting, the utility of the Cyclone. Now that it's defended, the Banshee is just kind of like, well, now it's just a scouting unit. It's not really going to do much else. And it finally does go down, but it has done its job. We do have a turret and a liberator set up to stop any drops coming in, but he may just try to boost into the main.
Yeah, looks like he wants to get into main, but the turret's actually doing a lot of damage to this medevac, and the medevac very low HP, has to drop some of the Marines there on the expansion and also here on the up ground, but it's not really targeting those SCVs here.
Yeah, not really getting that damage done, and it's trying to get in position here to attack the third base, but it seems like Bomber does know a bit about this. He's trying to get in position himself to defend, but already the tanks are going to drop down here, and Bunny's got a nice position to siege this third. Oh,
Bomber's very slow there with his tank evacs. Doesn't deploy them in time, and Bomber's forced to lift this command center off. And remember, that third base is still unscouted from Bomber, so Bunny is in a comfortable position, but it looks like Bomber here actually wants to go for a battle.
Yeah, he's stimming in, and this is going to force Bunny all the way back, but look at that. The medevacs pick up and boost away.
Oh, but the drop here at the expansion of Bomber. If Bunny gets a few SCVs here, it's going to be looking really good for him.
He's got to target them down. I love that he splits this, by the way, and doesn't just unload everything into one base. Even 3 Stim Marines can do a ton of damage. If they weren't targeting an assimilator there, finally, or a refinery rather, finally it does go down, but these Marines are not cleaned up.
Well, looks like these Marines of Bomber are finally going to clean up that pack of Marines there at the main base of Bombers. We see here Bunny posturing to move out again. I'm not really sure where he wants to hit though, because he did do quite a bit of damage to that third base. Maybe he wants to go for the kill, trying to get to the main base of Bomber. It looks like that's what he's going to do.
Yeah, Bomber showing in his game against Reality, he really skimps on the defense. You can see like 1 turret on the outside of his base here. Bunny's going to scout this army out there, and he's going to instantly boost in the main, and there's nothing here for Bomber. There's just no defense.
This is looking really bad for Bomber here. His production facilities are being shelled away from the army of Bunny, and as I mentioned before, we've got the expansion there at the bottom left, just doing so much work for Bunny, and we see here Bunny denying that third base of Bomber. Bomber isn't really mining too much right now, and it's looking really bad for Bomber here as we see the counterattack.
Here's the counterattack. He's going to drop in the main, but look at this. Bunny's already ready here. You can't really even stim up here. These Marines are going to do some damage to the SCVs, but look at the concave here, just shelling everything, and that's GG. Bunny has done it.
Bunny has
won that game.
And he looks like he won the GSL or the SSL or something there. He looks like a pure sigh of relief there from Bunny, but those hitting expansions, those CJ players, they love those hitting expansions on Frost. And I guess a lot of players are very cocky on the map because they seldom scout those main bases. And we've seen so far from CJ, Ragnarok against not Dark Dream rather, wins with a hidden expansion. Here we saw Bunny go for the hidden expansion and the gamble paid off. So I think in future, a lot of these players that are playing against CJ on Frost, they need to scout those main bases because these are what are winning those games from.
It makes sense. I mean, it's a gigantic map. I think it's the biggest one that we have in the pool now, and it's new too, so the players aren't as familiar with this one as some other maps. I mean, the players that have been playing for a long time, of course, do know this map, but maybe they're not as practiced on this map as the other maps that they've been practicing from round 1 and from the individual leagues, of course. But CJ players are really taking advantage of it, and I also have to say Bomber, his inconsistency shining through again. I mean, he's really not impressed me in these last 2 TVTs that he's played. Just going down to Reality and Bunny here in what looks like two very one-sided games as well.
Yeah, even the wins that Bomber has taken, they haven't been really impressive wins. They haven't been wins where you go, oh yeah, that's a Bomber Vold. It seems they're very, I'm not really sure how to say it, maybe fluky, maybe is the term I'm looking for, I'm not too sure, but it's really hard to criticize Bomber because there's not really much depth in the Afreeca team, so obviously Legend has to send him out more than often, and
yeah, and I mean the guy himself is a legend, right? He's been around the world and back, and does have a lot of results, but his form these days, perhaps not quite what it used to be. One of these veteran players, of course. We're going to jump into game number 4 here in just a bit, guys. Super versus Ragnarok, another one that is